Good evening. You're listening to the Garden City Community Chat Show with your hosts Carrie, Tom, and Mike. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Well, hello, Garden City and all our surrounding communities, Westland, Canton, Dearborn Heights, Dearborn, Livonia, just to name a few. Welcome to episode number 710 of the Garden City Community Chat Show. It's Thursday, June the 12th, 2025, and we're so happy you could be with us tonight. We hope you're all safe and doing well. I am your host, Carrie, and also joining me tonight, former Garden City Councilman Mike Jones. How you doing, Mike? Bring you in here. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, Carrie.
I didn't have you up on screen. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
Tom isn't, he's MIA right now, so I don't know where he is. He's probably going to tune in here shortly, hopefully. So we will hopefully get some weather from him. Tonight, it's been quite a while since our guest has been here, and we're happy to have him back from the Michigan State Police. Lieutenant Michael Shaw will be joining us. So please stay tuned for that. He'll be coming up shortly after the weather, if we have a weather segment. Also, a little later, Mike, you're going to close out the show with some community announcements and all that good stuff. We got a lot of events coming up, so you want to get them on your calendars. I also want to mention real quick, if you're watching us live on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead and post your questions in the comments section. You can find us live right now on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat, and over on our YouTube channel, just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show. You can also email your questions to us at gccommunitychat@gmail.com, and we will do our best to get those answered for you. Remember, we're here to promote not only our community, but yours as well. And speaking of community, if your community, organization, or business has any events, announcements, or cancellations that you'd like to get out to our listeners, what should they do, Mike?
Email us.
Yeah, I think that'd probably be a good idea. Email the details to us at gcommunitychat@gmail.com or message us on Facebook, and we'll be happy to pass that information along as well. Remember, you're always welcome to come on the show, promote your community, your business, or organization anytime. We also encourage any local business to check out and join the Garden City Business Alliance, see what great things they can do for you. For more information, head on over to gardencitybusinessalliance.org. Well, Tom's not in there, so let me see. He just texted me, so this is live. We'll see what's going on here. Busy at work, I will not be able to join. Okay. I guess they're getting storms down in Kansas. He is their meteorologist for all their Kansas City games down there. So
Yeah.
next week, Tom will be here, so we might as well get right to our guest. We won't keep him waiting anymore. Let's introduce our guest for tonight, Lieutenant Michael Shaw from the Michigan State Police. Lieutenant, how you doing?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good. It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has been a couple years, I think, since our last chat.
Yeah. So you've been doing this quite a while now, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been the public information officer on and off since about 2013 for MSP. So recently we just made a big change, brought all the PIOs across the state under one section. So I'm actually the section commander for all the public information officers across the state, trying to make sure that we get that right information out to our communities.
Well, that's great. Yeah, you cover a lot of territory, I know as well. I see you on TV a lot. Unfortunately, not in the best of circumstances.
I try to get out there for the good news as well, but unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the times it's talking to the community about some dangerous things that are out there. But also we got some good things. Tomorrow in Dearborn, as a matter of fact, at the Dearborn Police Department, we're partnering with them and 12 other police agencies for basketball with the cop, and that's where people can come together, play some basketball with us, and also food, and it's all free, music, things like that. So we're kind of hoping to see some folks come down to Dearborn tomorrow between 5 and 8 at the Dearborn Police Department off of Michigan Avenue, and get some of the good news out of us instead of some of the bad stuff.
Yeah, that's great. Good public relations for sure.
Absolutely.
So let me put up some slides here. We're going to get to some of the topics that we have tonight. Now, I guess it started Memorial Day. That's the unofficial day of the beginning of summer. So it's the 100 most dangerous days for teen drivers.
Yep. So that does run from Memorial Day all the way to Labor Day. So basically the summertime. And those are the 100 most dangerous days, not only for teen drivers, but for drivers in general, where nationally we see a lot of vacation traffic, a lot more traffic on the roads, schools out, a lot of things going on. So our fatalities, unfortunately, kind of click up during those 100 days as well. So one of the things that we just want to remind people, as far as drivers in general, I like to call them the big three: excessive speed, following too closely to the car in front of you, and then distracted or impaired driving. Those kind of go hand in hand through most of our traffic crashes. And then for teen drivers, the same thing, that pay attention to the roadways. You're a new driver. You don't need to be on that cell phone. In fact, you can't be on that cell phone. So, it's just a couple of subtle reminders. And us as parents, adults, we need to model that good driving behavior so that if the kids see us, not wearing our seatbelts, or the kids see us on our cell phones, or, maybe shaking a fist or getting a little angry at a driver, they're going to learn that behavior and think that's appropriate for when they drive as well.
Right. You got to set a good example for sure. Be a role model.
Absolutely. And, they all look at that for us for sure.
Yeah. Now it only takes a second for our lives to intersect. And that's something, because you need to look twice. You need to use all your mirrors and everything, your blind spots, all that, right?
And this one in particular, this slide's talking more about motorcycle safety, but that applies to all cars as well when you're driving through there. I think a lot of people will be surprised. They think that a majority of our motorcycle fatalities happen on the freeway system, and that's not the case. The majority of our motorcycle fatalities actually happen in intersections in our cities and those roads there, the smaller, not the freeways. So now, I think summer's here. It kind of tries to fool us every once in a while, but I think we've kind of turned that point. So it's just a reminder, if you're driving a car, not only for motorcycles, but pedestrians as well, it never hurts to take that second look in that intersection just to make sure it's clear before you pull out in front of maybe a pedestrian or a motorcycle.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to watch out for them motorcycles for sure. I can't tell you how many times I've seen a motorcycle go right down the center line in between cars. I mean, how dangerous is that?
And that's, that's the bad part, right? Is, we kind of talk about looking for motorcycles, things like that, but our motorcycle riders, they need to be responsible as well. And that's called lane splitting. You see it a lot on the West Coast that's actually legal in states like California. In Michigan, it's not. But we do see a lot of our motorcycle riders that are going way too fast for their riding skills. We recommend wearing a helmet. I know Michigan doesn't require it, but why you would not wear a helmet while operating a motorcycle, I don't understand it, but some people are out there doing that. A lot of the thought process I've heard from motorcycle ride, and I ride a bike myself, is that, well, it's not really going to matter, but it will matter. Any little piece of safety equipment you can use when you're operating a motorcycle, the better off you are.
Right. Now, this is a big one here, the texting. This is a hard one to enforce, isn't it?
So when the first texting law came out, it was very hard to enforce because the legislature and the wording of the law said that we actually had to see somebody texting, and they meant texting as far as, not a GPS, not holding your phone, not making a phone call, but just texting itself. And a lot of times we would, go to court after seeing somebody there, and you'd have to prove that. And that was pretty tough to do. So a lot of times, there was more of a careless driving ticket where you had to kind of fall back on there. Last year, then we started with our actual hands-free driving law, which made it a heck of a lot easier to enforce, because now you can't have that phone in your hand at all for any reason whatsoever. So it's a lot easier to enforce that law than it was the old texting law. And just for people that don't know about it, it is illegal in Michigan to hold a cell phone in your hand for any reason, unless you're making an emergency call. So you have to either use the Bluetooth that's in your vehicle, use that, or else you actually have to go through and buy one of those aftermarket racks for your vehicle that you can put that cell phone in, set it before you drive or leave on your trip, and then head on out. But if a police officer sees it within your hand, there's a good likelihood you're going to get stopped.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous for sure. Now, let me ask you this. Are officers, if there's at the scene of an accident, are they allowed to check the person's cell phone to see if they were texting at the time of the accident?
So usually it depends on the type of crash that it has. If it's just a minor fender bender, normally that's not going to occur. If it's a fatality or a serious injury, we will seek a search warrant to get into the phone and take a look to see if that driver is texting. But if it's just a minor crash, usually going out there and seeking that search warrant or going through the court system is going to be pretty tough. But you can also kind of tell in a way of what kind of crash it was and what.
Oops. Oh, we lost you for a minute. You froze up. In
front of you, it kind of gets you in a little bit of trouble.
There you go. There you go. You froze up a little bit there.
Okay. Am I good now?
Yep,
okay.
You're good.
Yep.
Okay, so that answers that. Road rage. This is another big one here. How do you avoid it? I mean, troopers just fly out there.
So we're we're kind of seeing it, it's going to be smarter people than me 20 years, 30 years down the road that are kind of looking at that error in human society to figure out where we kind of decided that we just don't like each other when we're driving down the roadway. I remember beginning early in my career, maybe somebody flipped the bird or something like that. And there's a couple of fists and shown at each other, and then you kind of went about your business. Nowadays, it's gotten so bad, where people actually throwing items, and sometimes it goes right into a shooting. Sometimes, which is very, very hard for me as a police officer to understand how not using a turn signal escalates to trying to take somebody's life.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk about it through the science and things that we kind of saw it picking up before COVID. And then once COVID hit and afterwards, it kind of where people don't realize that there's actual human beings inside these vehicles, where they're thinking of it as just another inanimate object that they're mad at, and that's what they're shooting at and stuff. So we're seeing a lot more of it for silly reasons. So what we recommend, one, if you run across somebody that's like that, the best thing to do is back off as far as you can. If you have to exit off the freeway, do so. Make sure you call us, call 911, make sure you know where you're at. That's one of the most important things. We get a lot of 911 calls that we have to kind of try to figure out where that driver is, and then don't engage with them. Don't, sometimes people think, well, I accidentally cut them off. Maybe I'll just wave, like, hey, sorry. And that even makes them more mad. So try not to engage with these folks. And if you're one of those people, and we all know them, right? We all have family members that we've driven with. We all have friends. We know the road ragers in our family circle, so to speak. If you're one of those, maybe public transportation might be a little bit better for you, because it's just driving, right? I mean, when it all settles down to it, this is just driving back and forth from point A to B. So if you are one of those folks, leave early. If you work at 8 o'clock and you leave the house at 8:05, you're never going to make it there on time. And getting mad at somebody else because you've left late isn't going to work out for you. So we just kind of remind people to kind of think back for a second, take a deep breath, and remember, this is just a way to get back to A and B. None of us are NASCAR. The only one that's got a sticker on the door is me. So, there's no sponsors. There's nothing like that to get there. Just, leave early, take your time, leave that distance between you and the car in front of you, pay attention what's going on, and hopefully you'll get there safely.
Yeah. And just try to stay calm.
That's all you can do.
I love the horn.
Yes. Yep. Be careful with the horn. That seems to really set people off. So, and sometimes we see it too, that, we get so impatient. As soon as the light turns green, if the person doesn't get to that gas pedal fast enough, people automatically honking the horn and stuff. I kind of wish they took horns out of cars. I think that would alleviate a lot of our problems, because people just don't use them for emergencies anymore.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I learned my lesson. When that light turns green, I don't jump it right away. Wait. I've seen so many blow the light.
Just in case somebody's running it.
Yes.
And that's true. But unfortunately, the person that's behind you, that happens to be the impatient person of the day. And they're the ones that hit that horn on you and get all mad because you didn't get through there fast enough. But we always recommend, give it a couple of seconds, because if somebody hits that pink light and runs into that intersection trying to beat it, that's the way those intersection crashes happen.
Yeah, they think it's a pink light, right?
Right. Absolutely. Yep.
Now, scams. Let's talk about some scams. This is the latest one, I guess, eh?
Yes. Yep. So this is, they kind of changed their profile a little bit. They went from toll roads, now saying that you have a ticket through what they're calling DMV in the scams, which should be a red flag for you right away, because Michigan, we don't have that. We have a Secretary of State.
Right.
So I just want to remind people, we're old school, right? The police are never going to text you. We're not going to WhatsApp you. We're not going to send you an email. If you owe us money or you have a warrant or a ticket, we're a face-to-face type of contact person when it comes to any of that stuff. We're going to come to your house. We're going to knock on your door. We're going to explain that to you. No government agency whatsoever is ever going to text you or call you or ask you for money in that way. And if, even if somebody we don't take gift cards, we don't take Bitcoin, we don't take your Apple card, we don't take any of that stuff. We're a cash business organization, so we take cash money.
Yeah.
So if you get one of these, we recommend, if it's a text or something like that, just mark it as junk and delete it.
Yep.
If it's a phone call where somebody's calling you and telling you about a warrant or you missed jury duty or something to that effect, just hang up the phone. If there's something that is really important, or you've got to know that you can't win the lottery if you don't play it. You can't win Publishers Clearinghouse if you didn't enter, and there's no rich people in Africa looking to give you money. So, I mean, it's always too good to be true.
Yep.
It always is.
Yeah, and I see there's a link that's associated with this too. Don't click on those links either.
Yep. That's how they start to get you. As you click on the link, they can kind of trace back to where you are and things like that. And and we see a lot. I get them on my state police phone. I get these same scams and everything, because all they're doing, it's quantity, not quality, right? If they get, 5, 10, 20 people to give that, submit to, getting their bank accounts cleaned out, they're making some money and some profit off of that. So that's what they're really looking for, is just a couple people through these scams to fall for it. And that's where they get in trouble. So, and no government agency is ever going to do that. Taxpayers already supply a bulletproof vest for me. You don't need to donate a bulletproof vest to me. You don't have to pay any of that money for policing. Our dogs are well taken care of. You don't have to donate money for that. And if it is something that you think is legitimate, ask them to send you a letter. And a lot of times they'll hang up right after.
Right. Best thing is just delete it.
Just delete it or hang up. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
So this is a real good program here. I mean, I was amazed that 820 individuals already.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So back in 2016, the former Colonel Etchew started the Angel program, and it was based off another program that she had learned about through the International Association of Chiefs of Police out in Boston, where we provide an opportunity for volunteers to volunteer for this program. And if somebody is addicted to alcohol or narcotics, or they're down and they really need some help, that they can come into a state police post. No questions asked. We'll get them with a volunteer that will place them into a program to try to get them that help to go through there. Now, if you have a warrant or something like that, we're going to have to work to try to clear that up as well. But this is something that we always recommend to people, when you've decided that, you've reached that point in your life where you can't get help and maybe you can't afford to get to a certain spot. Just walk into that state police post and ask to speak with an angel, and we'll hook you up with one of those volunteers and get you that help.
That's fantastic. Wow. That's really good. And it looks like a lot of people have taken advantage of it too. So
Yep. So it's a more popular program up in the northern part of Michigan.
Okay.
There's a lot of agencies around here that have Hope Not Handcuffs. There's a lot of programs here that the locals have as well. We're not particular. If you need help, you go into that place where you think you can get some help and get that help. But we wanted to make sure that we offered it as well at our state police post, where somebody could come in and get that help that they really need.
Your job is a tough job. I want to tell you, so many people dislike the police when you guys are just there to help them. And it's amazing that the young people, how they really are like afraid of you. And I think it all starts at home, doesn't it? Really?
And it's kind of funny, and I always tell people that too, right? The people that have a problem with the police are the loud ones, right?
Yeah.
85% of the community support us all the time. I mean, I go places
Good.
in my role, I am the public face of the state police.
Yep.
Do I get a little hassle every now and then? Sure. There's some people that aren't happy. Maybe a relative got arrested, or, they're not agreeing with the politics at the time, and things like that. And we hear that. But a majority of the time, people pull aside and they tell us how much they support us, right? They tell us, hey, we may not say it out loud, but, in the background, we're there for you. So I've been very fortunate. I've been in the department. I just passed my 30th year last month.
Wow.
I've been doing this for a long time. The pendulum swings. When I first came in the department, things were a little rough. 9/11 occurred, and I couldn't buy a lunch if I wanted to. I mean, that's how society kind of changed. During, the summer of justice in 2020, things got a little rough again. But overall, the Michigan State Police, we have a lot of support through our communities. And, when I talked about the basketball cop program, that's one of the ways that we talk to some of the younger people. They're out there beating our butts in basketball, but it's also an opportunity for us to, show that, we have a human side as well. And I think a lot of people really know that. So we've been fortunate with our recruiting. We're hiring all the time. We have large schools that are looking close to retirement, including myself. There's plenty of opportunities to join MSP, and it's a career that profession that I would recommend to anybody. I mean, it's a way to stand out and help your community, and it's always something different. I mean, for MSP, you can be a trooper and ride in the patrol car, and we do a lot more than just write tickets. We have a large responsibility. You can fly a helicopter, you can work in a crime lab, you can be a canine handler, a diver, a member of the bomb squad. If you want to work in Detroit for 2 years and then go up to Traverse City and work there for 2 years, that's available to you too. So this is a great profession and a great opportunity for somebody if they really are service oriented and want to help out their community.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, the biggest thing is when you're pulled over, just comply, do what the officer tells you. You don't have to be combative. You don't have to be a rebel. Just comply. That's all you're asking.
And that's the part of it, right? The court is where you air your grievance, right? If a police officer pulls you over, be it us or the county or a local, and they talk to you and they give you a citation and you don't think you deserve it, that's what the court process is for, right? You're never going to win an argument on the side of the road. And, it's my responsibility as a police officer to be the bigger person, to de-escalate that. That's one of my responsibilities. But you also have to do what you're told, right? And if you're not happy with that, then there's some alternate pursuits afterwards. But if you decide that you're not going to stop for the police, which we've seen, a lot of people that are fleeing the police, know we have a helicopter up flying most of the time around the district. You're going to go to jail tired is probably what's going to happen to you. If just comply, and if you don't think that it was correct, then take it to court and let the judge figure it out. But getting on in an argument with an officer on the side of the road is a win situation for that resident or that member of the community.
Now your post you're in Diamonddale, is that correct?
So I have a couple of offices. So as the commander of the public information section, I have an office up in headquarters, but I also act as the public information officer for here in the 2nd district, which is Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb counties. So I have an office downtown at the right across the street from the Fisher building, in the State building, the Cadillac place. So I have an office down there as well.
So yeah, you're putting some miles on them back and forth.
I get around a little bit, as they say.
So Diamonddale, isn't that near Lansing? That is near Lansing.
It is. Yep, that's where our training academy is and our headquarters. is up there in Diamonddale, just outside of Lansing.
Yeah, Diamonddale, not real big, not a real big town, is it?
Not too big. Nope. It's pretty much state operations are all up through Diamonddale and then through the Lansing area. But we tried to put everything that we could up in the same spot. That's where our MIOC, or our Michigan Operations Center, is for intelligence. That's where our training academy is. If people drive down 96, I'm sure they've seen the drive track out there where the troopers and the recruits are learning how to operate their vehicle on the drive track. So we have all that kind of stuff.
Now, do you know a ballpark figure how many posts are in Michigan?
I do. So there's 30 posts across the state.
Wow.
We also have several detachments around the area. Like here for the 2nd district, for Wayne County, our main post is in Taylor. So that covers all the Wayne County. But we also have a detachment in Detroit. So there's troopers that work out of there. It's not basically for public entrance, but it's more for like the troopers use, change clothes. If they have to process a drunk driver, there's a data master there, things like that. And other posts have those detachments as well. In the Metro North post that covers Oakland and Macomb, there's several detachments up there. And while the Wayne County Post Metro South is primary traffic enforcement, they don't really have an area. Wayne County is covered by local departments. There's 8 townships up in the Metro North Post area that they are the primary law enforcement. They answer 911 calls for service. They're the ones that go out there and handle anything that happens that a police officer is needed. So a lot of posts are like that as well.
I know for a while there seemed to be a lot of wrong way accidents on the expressway. I mean, there was like 3 or 4 like in a row, wasn't there?
Yep, we did find that we were having a lot of those crashes, wrong way drivers. A lot of them were based on people being intoxicated, of course. We're working with MDOT to try to find out different ways that maybe we can mark those exit ramps a little different. But unfortunately, if you're dealing with a driver that's impaired, be it, alcohol or now marijuana, I don't think there's enough signs out there that's going to stop that person. So we're really focusing more on the driver themselves instead of the signs out there, because they're not people that are getting on the freeway the wrong way because they're confused. They're getting on the wrong way because they're impaired. So we're really looking to see and crack down on that impaired driving portion. And a lot of it too now with the marijuana portion, it's kind of like the old days with alcohol, right? Where, the Andy Griffin, I'm going to age myself, the Andy Griffin show, you had Otis that came in there and went into the cell. There's a lot of people that thought that they drove better when they're drunk. There's a thought process now with people that are smoking weed that they drive better. And that's not the case either. So both of them impaired. And there's just way too many ways to get around town, be it, public transportation, a designated driver, Uber, Lyft, that getting behind the wheel impaired is just not the way to go anymore.
So if you run across somebody that's impaired, are the tests the same for alcohol and marijuana?
They are the same. What you're looking for is impairment. So alcohol is a little bit different because there's a per se rule. So in Michigan, if you have a blood alcohol content higher than 0.08, you're automatically considered to be impaired. That's the threshold, scientifically, that says that you're drunk, basically, in a nutshell. Taking all the scientific words out of it. There's not a threshold like that for marijuana. So what you're looking for is impairment. So if, say, you're driving behind a vehicle and that driver runs a red light, and then you kind of go up there and you make a traffic stop on them, you smell the odor of marijuana inside the vehicle. They got bloodshot eyes. You take them out of the car. You give them those same field sobriety tests. They don't pass those. Then you're kind of looking at that impairment. So what would happen after that is you go and get, a blood draw taken. And then when the results of those come back show that there's marijuana in the system, then you go to court like a normal one, and it'll be up to us to prove that your impairment caused either the traffic crash or that you're driving impaired, and that's why you were stopped.
Okay, gotcha. Mike, any questions before we let the lieutenant go?
No, they do a great job. Thank
Yeah.
you. One of your posts is in Battle Creek, where I'm from.
Where's that?
Battle Creek.
Battle Creek, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yep, that's over there, over in the 5th
Calhoun.
district. Yep. Calhoun County. Yep.
Okay. No questions in the comments, but well, we do have a comment here. Michael Bingo. He says, "Hi, Mike. Thanks for the service in Michigan."
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. And we have several others watching. No questions though for you. So there's your contact information. If anybody wants to contact you, they can go through this, right?
Absolutely. Yep. There's a cell phone number. Most of our critical information, our incidents, what's going on in the neighborhoods there is on our X account, or, the old Twitter account, so to speak. And that's my email there. So feel free, if you got any questions or think of anything, feel free to send me an email. And if I don't know the answer, I'll make it up right now. And if I don't know the answer, I'll figure it out and get it back to you.
So do you do the social media part of it too?
I do. So every one of our public information officers have their own account.
Oh,
to
okay.
where they use that to talk to the public. I use mine here in the Metro Detroit area to kind of talk about traffic crashes, critical incidents, some public safety stuff. I'm a Simpsons fan, throw a little Homer out there every once in a while, just keep it interesting. So, yep, that's the way that we try to talk to our community and the media, let them know what's going on with MSP.
And once again, you want to let everybody know where you're going to be playing basketball in Dearborn.
Yep. So we'll be there tomorrow in Dearborn, right in the parking lot of the police department. It's right off Michigan Avenue. That's also right on our X account too. The directions and everything, but it's from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. There's going to be 13 different agencies out there, from us to Dearborn Heights, some fire departments. I understand some members of the Marine Corps will be out there. So there'll be quite a few folks out there with their emergency vehicles, and people can come by and listen to some music, eat some food, play some basketball, take a look at our equipment, and hang out and talk to the troopers and to the other police officers, and hopefully have a good time.
Yeah, that's awesome. A lot of communities are doing more and more of this, though. They really are. I know here in Garden City, we have our own community resource officer, and we have a great police force here. We really do. And they do a lot for the community as well.
Yeah, and this we call it Troopers on Tour is what the program is called.
Okay.
So we started it last year, where we kind of got them and met about 800 community members across the state. Colonel Grady, who's the director of the state police, he wanted to expand the program, so we're doing it everywhere. Today we had one in Saginaw, the city of Saginaw. Tomorrow's Dearborn. We have one scheduled later on in Riverview down here. We have one on Belle Isle in Detroit. So it's just an opportunity to kind of work with other police departments and get members of the community to come out there. And a lot of times, when you are out there barbecuing, or you're out there playing basketball and talking about different things, we all realize we're a member of the same community. And that's what we're really pushing for, is to really show people it's not the police against the community or the community against the police. I live here in Oakland County. I'm part of the community. I also vote and pay taxes, and I want to live in a safe neighborhood. And once people kind of realize that we're all the same folks, that makes it a lot easier for us to do our job and for the people to feel safe.
Right. You have a job to do just like everybody else, and you're just a resident like anyone else.
Absolutely.
Here's a good question here. I do have a question. Lisa Poma wants to know, why aren't we cracking down more on distracted drivers? Tinted windows. That's a big one, real big. Talking on their phones and blasting the boss.
Yeah. So it's always hard to, because when we're driving around and we see this and we don't see the police, we're always like, where are they at? They're always somewhere. So we always rely on personal responsibility. That's our number one way that we comply with any law, right? From homicide all the way down to traffic laws, things like that. We do have a motorcycle unit that does go out there across the district to make sure that they're looking for those type of things, the tinted windows and things like that. But what I always try to tell people is I'll never have enough cops to put a police officer in the back of everybody's car to give you a little slap in the head when you're breaking the law, right? So we just won't have that many troopers out there.
Right.
So we always rely on, personal responsibility. That's our responsibility when we get behind the wheel to realize we're not supposed to do that. But enforcement is an important factor of that, because if there's some people out there that if there's no way or they never think they're going to get stopped for whatever they're doing, they're going to continue to do that. But traffic safety is something that we do focus on quite a bit. Just unfortunately, there's just never going to be enough of us out there to get every person that's on the phone or with a tinted window. And that was always my pet peeve when I worked the road, was tinted windows.
Terrible.
I saw somebody with a tinted window. We had some type of conversation. Sometimes it went well, and sometimes they had to go talk to the judge. So
Yeah, tinted windows that's so dangerous, especially for you guys. You don't know what they're holding in their hand if you don't see them.
And part of it too is we're seeing a little bit of the tinted windows into the windshield and stuff like that. And I believe it was the city of Dearborn a little while ago had a fatality, a pedestrian crash, where the person's windows were so tinted that they didn't see the pedestrian crossing in the crosswalk. So, it's dangerous for the members of the community as well. And
Right.
there's a time that people have, a reason to have a tinted window. They have legitimate prescriptions and things like that, and you can go out there and do that. But if you're just doing it to make your car look cool, we're probably going to eventually have a chat with you.
Yeah, I think the majority do that. Yeah.
Mm.
Thank you, Lieutenant Shaw. She says, stay safe out there and watch out for the idiots. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
She said that she's also seeing a lot of drivers roll through stop signs, crosswalks. That's what you were saying.
Mm.
That's dangerous too.
Absolutely. I think for intersections is always the toughest part for traffic crashes, things like that is, we see a lot of those crashes happen there. I think the 3-second rule went away for a little bit. We're seeing it a little better than we did in the past. But when you come to that stop sign, you have to come to a complete stop, look through the intersection, make sure it's clear before you drive through there. Those rolling stops, I know a lot of local police departments, we talk with them quite often, and we do partner with them on traffic when they have areas in their cities that they're having trouble with. And that's one of the things they often talk about is the excessive speed through the neighborhoods and also through the stop signs. So we definitely do pay attention to those, because you run a stop sign and it's a T-bone type crash. Usually that ends up in a fatality.
That's where you have to stop and look around, like you said.
Absolutely.
Everywhere. Make sure nobody's coming, no pedestrians.
Yield signs.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I even stop at yield signs. Really. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Lisa says, defensive driving is definitely key for sure.
For sure. Yep. You can't count on your fellow drivers out there. Yeah. You got to be responsible for yourself and your car. And sometimes we have to drive appropriately when there's other people out there that maybe aren't doing the best job.
Yep, exactly. Well, look, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for being here. And you do a great job, that's for sure, and a great service to the state, to be honest. And
we appreciate you.
I'll come back anytime.
Thank you very much. Anytime, give me a call, and we can talk about anything you want to talk about. So I'm always game.
When I'm in a pinch for a guest, I'm going to call you.
There you go. I appreciate that.
All right. You take care, Lieutenant.
All right. You too.
All right. Have a good night. All right. Good information. Wow.
Yeah.
If you want to get a hold of Lieutenant Shaw, 734-287-5000. He's got an X account at MSP Metro Detroit, and you can email him at shawm4 at michigan.gov. Great guy. Does a lot of good for the state. Okay, let's see. We're going to move on now, Mike. The next
All
city
right.
council meeting is Monday, June 23rd at 7 p.m. in the council chambers, located at 6000 Middle Belt Road. These meetings are a good way for you to get involved, voice any concerns you may have as well. I have a quick show note. We will be off next Thursday, the 19th, so we can attend and enjoy the Music in the Park event. We hope you all come out, and if you do stop by and say hi, we'd love to talk to you. We will be back again on June 26th, right here live on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Are you ready, Mike?
I am ready, Kerry.
Okay, we're going to do some events and close out the show.
Well, that's when you say goodbye.
Hey, it's time for some community announcements. So let's get in here. Mike?
It's a lie, 'cause that'll be when I die. Oh, we're starting out with plethora. Straight Farmhouse has a variety of programs. Every Wednesday and Saturday noon to 3, they're open for tours. For event information, go to www.straightfarmhouse.org. They're having a big event on, Saturday the 11th, and we're going to follow that up. It looks like with our first community pancake breakfast on Sunday, February 12th. So save the date.
Oh,
More details to follow.
yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to that.
Okay, Chat at the Rec every Monday from 9 to 11. Looking for some good discussion, meet us at Radcliffe, 1751 Radcliffe Street, Garden City, Michigan. Any questions, call 734-793-1850.
Yeah, if you want to find out, all the information about the Radcliffe Center, you can attend that.
Get your carpet clean, get ready for graduation parties. Call our carpet cleaner guy, Dennis Dykeman, at 734-299-6496.
Yeah, Dennis is in there watching tonight. Also, Derek Parton from DSD Sports Chat. John Sanborn is in there. Our neighbor. How you doing, John? Good to see you. Lisa Palma. Also want to mention Mrs. Chad is in there. And Annette McNeil. That's a #1 fan. She's in there every Thursday night. Patty Fix, another wonderful fan.
Yeah.
Also, Mrs. Chat says Paula and Kelly say hi. Hello, Paula and Kelly. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. And Michael Bingo is in there. So happy to have all you guys.
Garden City Parks and Recreation is selling dashboard advertisements.
Yeah.
Their 5x3 advertisements are located at the ice arena. 1 year is $185, 2 years is $235, and 3 years is $285. So those are good size advertisements.
Yeah, 8x3. That's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. The original Garden City janitorial service. Oh boy. Where cleanliness meets commitment. Professional cleaning services, commercial and office cleaning, certified medical and dental facility cleaning, disinfecting, fogging, reliable, thorough, and professional. You can contact them at 734-564-577.
Yeah.
Get 20% off your first month of cleaning.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
They were on our show not too long ago. Do a good job.
Ace Masonry, 30 years experience with brick, block, and stone. Jay Piner is the owner. Contact him at 734-469-0633 for your masonry needs. When the scaffolding comes down, the only thing left to stand on is the craftsmanship. So they do a good job.
Yeah.
Tech Talk with Julie. Drop in Thursdays from 9 to 12. You can call Oh, where's the number for appointments? Ages 50 and up. Free tech assistance, get help with laptop, phones, Android and iPhone, email, or any tech issue you would like to discuss. Oh, 734-793-1850 to set an appointment.
Yep.
Garden City Public Library. Check out our new website at www.gardencitylib.org. Over 100 years of serving the
Wow.
Garden City community.
Long time.
Yep. Shannon Babe, our notary public, is for all your notary needs. Call Shannon at 734-469-8821.
Mhm.
Wayne County Veteran Affairs every Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 to 4:30. You make appointments by calling 313-506-0302. And the American Legion Department of Veteran Affairs can take care of all your benefit questions and issues.
Mhm.
They're available every Tuesday from 9 to 3. And you need to call to make an appointment.
Right.
Wayne Road Cruise, June 14th.
Saturday.
Yeah. In Westland. In fact, there's a thing that has the map of that, I think, in the
marketplace.
marketplace, right?
Hoping for good weather there.
Right. It's supposed to be very, a low chance of rain on the weekend.
Spotty
We didn't have
shop.
Tom to do the spotted showers. We didn't have Tom to give us our weather report, but
Yeah.
should be okay. Could
Yep.
be anything that's going to disrupt the drive. The Westland Historical Society is having their 4th annual yard sale from 10 to 4. Treasures, crafts, vendors, food trucks, and vintage cars at the Westland Historic Village Park, 857 North Wayne Road in Westland.
Yeah.
All It's for Autism was a big event, the 24th annual one.
Monday.
On Monday.
Yep.
June 16th from 4 to 9 at the Garden City Middle School. She's located at 1851 Radcliffe near Ford Road in Wildwood. In fact, it's right in back of McDonald's and what have you.
Right. Can't miss it. There's a ton of cars.
And Bonnie and the Working Girls are going to provide the music, and there's going to be a lot of food opportunities and
Yep.
water for sale. Kiwanis is doing water sales. You and I are involved with the judging and the tabulating of the judges' results of the various car classifications.
Yep. We'll be there.
Yep. Free summer school, craft recovering up to 2 credits. Register by June 16th. The classes will be held at the Cambridge facility. Attendance is strictly enforced.
Mm-hmm.
Spaceport Gaming Camp, June 16th to June 19th, $84 for residents, $94 for non-residents. Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 12:30 p.m., ages 8 to 12. Music in the park.
Yeah, that's right around the corner.
Right, that's going to be next Thursday at the Garden City Park log cabin. The band will be Sinyon Smith. Shop at our Bisbee Venner event from 4 to 9. Bands start at 6:30. It's a free event. Kiwanis and Lions are going to have representatives there, so you can get information about either one of those organizations.
Yeah.
Los Amigos Westland presents a karaoke party on Sunday, June 22nd. Great food, margaritas, draft beer on the patio. DJ is going to be Big Tex. It's from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock, 7667 North Wayne Road. Princess Dance Party. Make a craft, listen to a story, have a snack. Learn and perform a new dance, $10 per person. It's Tuesday, June 24th from 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. It's open for ages 4 to 7. There is a strict dress code.
Yeah.
Summer camp, June 23rd to August 7th from 9:30 to 12:30. Monday to Thursday, ages 6 to 11. Week 1 is June 23rd to 26th. Week 2 is July 7th to July 10th. Week 3 is July 21st to July 24th. And week 4 is August 4th to August 7th. Cost is for residents is $84. For non-residents, it's $94. The Independence Garden City Senior Center presents an Independence Day lunch. $10 per person. Lunch will be hamburgers and hot dogs. Side options will also be available at the Radcliffe Center on the patio on July 1st. It starts at 12 p.m., ages 50 and older.
Yeah. Could be 90 degrees. You never know. July.
Yep. Yeah, but you're going to be on a patio.
Yeah.
You don't have drinks on you.
Yeah.
Neighborhood Watch is back second Tuesday of every month, 7 p.m. Next meeting is July 8th. It's at the Garden City Police Department.
Talking July already. Wow.
Garden City
Two.
Garden Club presents the Garden Walk, Saturday, July 12th. That's my birthday, from 10 to 3. Pre-sale tickets are available from what Barson's Greenhouse is one place.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets the day of the walk was that $20? And
20.
that includes lunch?
No lunch.
No lunch.
If
Okay.
you get pre-sale for 20, you get lunch, and $15 no lunch.
Okay.
So yeah, it's a big show.
Yep.
A lot of nice homes.
Small Business Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Join us for our second annual Christmas in July celebration, supporting your local small businesses.
Okay. There's a contact information there. It's a vendor fee of $20.
Okay. Haven of Love Dog Rescue, 100K shootout at second annual charity golf outing on Saturday, July 19th. Register from 8 to 8:30 at the links at Gateway, $125 per golfer. Includes 18-hole shotgun, a golf cart, hot dogs, and pop at the turn. I can't read all of that. Hole in one contest, 100,000 shootout, hole in one. Yeah, anyway. To register, call Lori at 734-972-5648. Lucky Squirrel. There's 2 of them left.
Yeah.
Arts and Craft Antiques and Vendors, July 19th, and the last one will be September 20th. It's free admission. It's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. They're located in the northeast corner of Ford and Middlebelt.
Right.
Tipton Academy's 8th annual rummage sale, July 24th to 26th. They're accepting donations now. Please message me to schedule a donation.
Brought to you by Tipton.
Yeah. Okay. The big save the date Sunday, August 24th for the Cruise and Hines car show.
Yeah, that's a big one. Don does a good job there.
Yes, he does. And a summer lunch, Garden City Senior Center presents $10 per person on Saturday or on September 12th from 12 to 2, held at the Radcliffe Center, ages 50 and older. Join us for lunch. Get ready for the Rec Center's fall hours with an end of summer lunch. Enjoy some barbecue and hang out with others. To register, visit the Radcliffe Center or visit www.gardencitymi.org/parks/.
Senior social activities.
Yeah. Garden City Senior Center presents it, and there's still a few seats left for that, but only about 3 as of our Commission on Aging meeting on Wednesday. September 18th from 2025, $63 per person, departs from Radcliffe Center, and the towers, ages 50 and older. Trip includes transportation, buffet style lunch, and riverboat cruise experience.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I think
Yeah.
Mrs. is going on that.
Yep.
And that's all I have, Mike.
Let me see if I find any others in the marketplace that we haven't already mentioned. Westlands Farmer Artesian Market, Thursday, June 5th, from 3 to 7. A lot of events going on at that. That's located over there on Carlisle.
Yeah, don't forget to pick up your Garden City Marketplace. Don Nicholson's wife, Gail, do a great job on it.
We talked about Garden City Garden Club. We talked about
Yep.
Garden City Miniature Golf is having a Father's Day thing and golf special on June 15th. Dads and grandpas golf for free on Father's Day.
Yeah, we went off the other day.
With a paying child, open 7 a.m. or 7 days from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. until Labor Day. Contact them at 734-425-9816. Okay, what else do I have? Anything?
Yeah, we covered quite a bit.
The Strawberry Festival, sponsored by the Presbyterian Church, on Friday, June 13th. That's coming right up.
Yep.
Music, boutique, bake sales from 4:30 to 8. Games for the kids and strawberries with cake and ice cream for all. Proceeds will be donated to a local charity. Bunch of programs at the farmhouse at Lucky Squirrel we mentioned. I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think we covered quite a bit.
Yes, we did.
That was a good show tonight. Great show.
Yes, it was.
With that said, Mike, I think we're ready to call this a podcast.
Yes, podcast. Yeah.
We want to thank Lieutenant Michael Shaw from the MSP, Michigan State Police, for being here with a lot of good information. Once again, I'm going to put up his contact information. You can contact him right there. His phone number, 734-287-5000. He's got an X account, formerly Twitter, at MSP Metro Detroit or Metro DET. You can email him Shaw M4, the number 4, at michigan.gov. He did a great job. A lot of good information. If anybody tuned in late, you're going to want to go back and listen to this. It was really good info. Also, a big thank you to my fantastic co-host, Mr. Mike Jones. Great job as always. Sorry we missed Tom tonight, but he's busy with his real job. So hopefully we're going to be off next week. So he'll be back in 2 weeks. Remember, the show will be available right after we sign off tonight on Facebook. So we hope you'll catch it at your convenience. Like I said, especially if you tuned in late by going to facebook.com/GCChat. Feel free to share the show with your friends too, will you? Also, catch us on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show, and you'll find not only this show, but all our past shows as well. Click on the live tab and please subscribe. There's a subscribe button there. You can click on that. We would appreciate it. And at the end of all our shows, Mike and I always like to thank all the healthcare workers, first responders, police and fire, everyone on the front lines who serve and protect us every day. We can't thank you enough. We want you to know that you and your families are in our thoughts and prayers every day. And whenever you see any of these heroes, please let them know how much you appreciate them, okay? Any final thoughts, Mike?
Now, my usual weekly encouragement for everybody to get vaccinated to protect themselves and the people they care about.
Right. Good information. Remember, the success of a community depends on the community. So please support your local businesses and please don't hesitate. Like Mike said, vaccinate. Remember, you're not only protecting yourself, but others as well. And Mike, if you see something,
say something.
Exactly. We need to look out for one another out there. For all your weather information, make sure you head on over to DopplerTomsWeather.com. It's got a great user-friendly website over there full of good information, a good radar. So we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. If you would like to contact any of us here at the chat for any reason, once again, our email is gccommunitychat@gmail.com. We do like to hear from our listeners. Let us know how we're doing, what you'd like to see more of. Remember, we will be off next week, the 19th, for Music in the Park, but join us the following week, June 26th. If you see us at the park, stop by and say hi. We'd love to meet you.
Mhm.
You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/GCChat and on our YouTube channel at YouTube, or just search for the Garden City Community Chat Show. And once again, hit the subscribe button. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your week. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there as well. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night. Take care.
Night.